says if not to go 1 iota over the speed limit, and then the way like to make that work in there, it says just to stay in the slower lane, and it seems like that works out from what I've seen. Dhanavir Maharaj was telling me that once you go over the speed limit, then everything else comes, the holding things or driving recklessly.
But still, if you're going in the slow lane at the proper speed, people can cut in front of you.
Yeah.
I was saying, I don't know, a practical way to understand the example is how we run around in Tulsi Puja. Some people are going fast, some are going slow. Those who are going slower get ran into, kind of thing. Happens on the road too.
There's enough space there.
I mean, one thing, Hare Krishna, one thing they teach you in like driver's ed is the concept of defensive driving. So like just, always be on the side of more caution. Like, I mean, my opinion is that driving slow is better, driving the speed limit is better. Like, if someone cuts you off, you can't control that, but you can control how fast you're going. It's like you can't control the aggression of other drivers. It doesn't mean that you come up to their aggression level. You just kind of stay safe. And another thing that I notice is...
And if you have that habit, you'll take that habit elsewhere.
That's what's happening.
But if you have the habit of driving recklessly, then you'll take that elsewhere also.
That's what's happening. That's what's happening, unfortunately.
So that's the message. Just keep within the rules, drive safely, and don't go with the flow if the flow is not safe. Yeah.
Do we keep that rule of staying like whatever 10% over the speed limit?
Yeah, that's fine.
And keep that rule.
That's fine. Well, according to the rules.
It used to be in England that the police wouldn't, they'd let you go so much over the speed limit without giving a ticket. But at some small increment they would allow that. That's probably true here also.
Yeah, so
But I think they tightened up now, because they just, as soon as you go over, like by 1 or 2, they'll catch you. Right?
Yeah, well, in the US, the general standard is 10% over the speed limit is the admissible, buffer,
Yeah.
you can call it. And this is what most people drive at. Dhanavir Maharaj, he's very insistent on his disciples driving at the speed limit, not even 1 over the speed limit, because what he says is that once you let that one in, everything else starts to. He interestingly draws that to using the phone, this, that. I mean,
shlokas. That happens too. You learn shlokas when you drive. Learning shlokas too. It goes
I've
into.
never heard of that.
I know you haven't, but it happens. So,
this is complicated. We can try.
he has something to say.
Oh. One thing.
It was working fine.
Okay. One thing I always remind people, devotees, whatever, is that driving over the speed limit actually, some people think it saves time. It actually ends up not saving much time at all, especially like the recent instance we were going 108, but I think we only shaved like 6 minutes off or something. So if that's like the mindset, to get somewhere quicker, to accelerate, to cut people off, it actually doesn't save much time. Because I think the way that even the stoplights are like programmed is you're going to get caught at one and you'll lose all that time you saved anyways. And whatnot.
Is this on? All right. Is there any room, like if devotees are up late or some situation like that, for them to sleep in and wake up later, if that
If
helps
you're
with the driving?
driving, you should get sufficient rest. Often, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama, Hare Hare. Often we're overconfident. Once I saw a devotee was tired, he was going to drive. It was just him and his family, and his children, and I don't think his wife drives, and myself. So I was going to take rest, but in the car, that was the plan, while driving. But I said, hey, Betty, you wait, we'll be late, even we miss the program we're supposed to be going to, we come late, but you look very tired. He said, no, I'll be okay. And then I woke up when he smashed into a electric pylon, electric pole. And then luckily the live wire it came down and it was just this far away from my door.
Oh, Krishna. The whole car could have gotten electrocuted.
Yeah,
Guru Maharaj's door was right there.
on that side, yeah.
Oh my Krishna.
And getting out the other side was difficult because there was an incline.
Steep cliff.
So he was confident, no, I'll be okay. I should have insisted, no, don't drive like this.
I know that I personally feel like always just kind of like afraid to drive. I don't really like driving, but it's necessary, especially, so I tell myself that it's a service, and that's how I do it. But for such a person, is it even like safe for such a person who's like literally afraid to be on the road, to be driving?
Probably not. I have to see the performance to say.
In America, driving is an extremely basic skill and need in many cases, unfortunately.
Yeah, in most of America, driving is it's required just to navigate life, with the exception of New York City, probably.
Yeah, that's literally the only place.
Hmm.
You don't need, she's from New York, so.
Understandable.
Hmm.
Okay, anything else?
Ali Krishna.
Guru Maharaj, if a devotee likes to hear the talks of another devotee and their guru says that some of the things that that devotee is saying are not bona fide or not in line with Srila Prabhupada, is it okay? I mean, like, what is the, and the devotee that's listening to those says, well, it's just a difference of opinion, it's different, is still Krishna conscious.
Then your guru is your own mind, isn't it? To make such a statement about someone means there must be something quite serious. But if you have a different opinion, then you don't have a guru, actually.
Hare Krishna.
Then, what you...
Guru Maharaj, in your class that you gave for initiation, you were speaking about how when Srila Prabhupada came, he was more lenient with his disciples in regards to like traditional Vedic culture, in that as your disciple, it's important that we establish those ideals that Srila Prabhupada wrote about in his writings. And I'm just wondering, when it comes to women, in the way that in which like we behave as far as chastity and modesty, like within the cities, with preaching, we tend to be a bit more, external. But then when it comes to like Daiva Varnashram and establishing farm communities, and what I've seen in like Nandagram, the women there are very much reserved. And so coming from the city and wanting to establish that kind of ideal, how do we adjust ourselves accordingly to be able to live up to those ideals?
Lamb at home, lion in the chase. You know that? Yeah. In one sense, it would be ideal if the Matajis didn't go out at all, but who's going to preach to... Well, one thing is we need many preachers, and preaching outside or even inside to women coming up from outside, we need lady devotees to do that. Another thing is that Matajis who come newly and join our ashram, they're not going to be able to... Generally it's seen they're not able to make such a big cultural shift in their outlook overnight, so they also need to be involved in that way. Maybe not overnight, maybe not over a long time also. We have to see. That's why I said, if you can't adjust, there are other places you can go to and chant Hare Krishna. The main thing is chanting Hare Krishna. But we want to try and instill this culture also. It's helpful for spiritual advancement. It may be difficult.
Guru Maharaj, I was just reading in Mitravan Prabhu's room, just different things about Prabhupada regarding like coming back for his disciples, and there was one line that said that most of his disciples would be demigods, and it just sort of made me wonder what constitutes, a disciple that ends up being a demigod. Is it that they follow like strictly their whole life and they still have material desires, or is it?
Well, elsewhere we have written that the devotees are more than demigods. If you're practicing Krishna consciousness, trying to be anyabhilashita shunyata, with the cultivating the mood of not having any desires, doing everything for Krishna, then you're better situated than the demigods. But if we cultivate devotional service and cultivate simultaneously material desires, then we're likely to end up in the heavenly planets. Or even if we're not cultivating material desires, if we're not completely purified, when we leave this body, we're likely to end up in the heavenly planets.
Guru Maharaj, so our devotees distribute a lot of books because they have enthusiasm, and that enthusiasm is displayed in them also having a good time out on book distribution. It's quite amazing, and many devotees around the world are inspired by this. Sometimes it seems that there's been observation from multiple devotees, but it's difficult to draw the line, is that enthusiasm comes back into the temple, but then, and devotees joke with each other, which is very nice, and some of that is definitely needed, and it helps us maintain a very close familial spirit. But then sometimes it seems to go overboard, where some devotees have found that it becomes condescending or prajalpa, putting others down, and this. So sometimes we feel that boys will be boys, and other times it feels, well, we're supposed to be devotees. Then if we become too serious, it becomes boring.
Yeah, it's all a question of where to draw the line. We see among Lord Chaitanya's associates, especially Advaita and Nityananda, they would joke with each other, rib each other. You know what ribbing means?
Yeah.
Yeah. Like that. It was misunderstood by some. How far is too far? Is that you? I don't know any mathematical formula that can define it. That's too far. Going, oh man. Maybe that's too far. Is it? What do you all think?
Yes.
Is it too far? Mahotsav Prabhu can do no wrong?
No, that's not true.
Whatever he does is the standard. Yad yad acharati shreshtaha. Devotees are grave, that's one of the qualities of a devotee, gambhira. And also Brahma Bhuta Prasannatma, they're all very happy also. May appear to be contradictory, grave and happy. So you see, you check yourself if you feel it's going too far. That's all. It's hard to give any formula. And sometimes I see devotees get into habitually some role playing among each other as a joke, but then it just becomes a habit, and it becomes internalized practically. I know two of my godbrothers, they used to take the role of New York lowlife kind of talk among each other as a kind of joke. But then they just did it all the time without even thinking. So it became prajalpa, actually. You have to see, some people have very jolly personality, so just you feel like joking when you're around them. Some have a very grave personality and you feel, I don't want to joke.
So Maharaj, in our preaching endeavors, we're finding, especially in Atlanta, that we happen to come across a lot of gay people and lesbian, and they're interested in Krishna consciousness. I know they can't particularly live in the ashram, but it seems quite difficult to somehow
tell them to practice at home. They can do the best they can. What can you do? They have serious anartha. Everyone has serious anarthas. People are eating meat. The feeling is there that I can't overcome it because it's me. I was born like that. The heterosexual tendency is also very degrading, but we have to try and control it. Otherwise we can't make spiritual advancement. There is a channel for indulging that in a Krishna conscious way. There's no channel for indulging homosexuality in a Krishna conscious way. So it's difficult. Difficult for them, more difficult for them, no doubt. It's like, in various ways, some people are advantaged and disadvantaged. People coming from a Buddhist background are generally disadvantaged because of their outlook on life is very much influenced by the Buddhistic background. So it may be very difficult for them. It's an anartha which is difficult to overcome, no doubt. Possibly they could be referred to devotees who are more open to that kind of outreach and propagation.
Do we tell them that, like, you know, obviously?
Tell them they can contact. Amogalila Prabhu was here recently. He said he was interested in preaching to this community.
Prabhupada disciple Amogalila.
Oh.
Who are you thinking of?
Our,
Oh, I see, yeah. Mm. Mm.
On Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur's appearance, he was given the name Bimala Prasad, and I read that Bimala is a form of Durga Devi, and so like he was given the name like the mercy of Mother Durga. Although Bhaktivinoda Thakur, he was Vaishnava, so I was just that got me curious as to why he was given that name.
That I gave in the book also. Bimala is the name of the Shakti worshipped in Puri in the Jagannath temple. So she's, that particular name is the form of the external energy linked with Jagannath. That's one thing. And then I also the name of a Gopi, Bimala. Could also generically be a name for Radha and Lakshmi. It simply means without blemish. Mala means blemish, dirt, and vit in this case means without. He gave all the names of his sons: Kamala Prasad, Ananda Prasad, Lalita Prasad. Yeah, I think all the names.
Guru Maharaj, I've also wondered why when we address Sita, Ram, Lakshmi Narayana, Radha, Krishna, why the female consort comes before the male consort. It seems to be a trend.
Yeah, well, we go through the Shakti to go to the Shakti Ma. Srila Prabhupada was asked why he gave the name of the deities in Chicago as Kishore Kishori, which means Krishna, Kishore, Radha, Kishore. Srila Prabhupada said, keep the best till last. That was his reply. It comes up in the song, Kishore Kishori. in several songs, Bhakti Vinod song and some other Hindi song also. But we often say Shiv Parvati, or we can say Uma Shankar, either way. If we say Shiva and Parvati together, we generally say Shiv Parvati. But if we say Uma Shankar, is it not? You don't say Shankar Uma. Maybe it's just for ease of, sounds better. I don't know actually what the reason is.
Guru Maharaj, if you have a disciple who is Brahmin initiated and then due to circumstance they have to work a karmi job, does their second initiation...
Null and void? No, it's
Yes.
not. But it doesn't help. We're trying to do Varnashram Dharma, so it doesn't help. Anyway, all Vaishnavas are more than Brahmanas, but we are trying to establish Varnashram Dharma, in which Brahmanas are supposed to be living as Brahmanas in Varnashram Dharma. Otherwise, what's the meaning?
Hare Krishna. Maharaj, what I notice when I go out on books, I try to preach in a way that's both relatable to the person to see where they're at, but then also introduce the philosophy of Krishna consciousness. And I always keep in the back of my mind when I first got introduced by Mahotsa Prabhu, he was like, very just excited. He didn't mention Krishna's name not once, but I at least oh, you did, but more so that I just more so respected that where he was coming from, and I've seen that the mood that I've noticed ever since I've joined this is shifting to try to get more, I would say, more accommodating with newcomers. My only hang-up is that sometimes when I've noticed that when we do get newcomers, they bring their own, I would say, ideals and philosophy, and it's really hard for me to adjust to that or try to preach against that. But then I also know that sometimes, sometimes I think that people more so would like just a friend first, and then I would say then they get into the principles later on. So my question is how should we, or for me, how should we preach to newcomers? Should we meet them where they're at, or should we not hold back on the philosophy?
You have to see the individual. It's not stereotyped. If we can give a book, that's good. The book is the best preaching.
She can read your book on speaking strongly.
Yeah, you can read that book on speaking strongly in Krishna consciousness.
Discussions.
Yeah, it's an elaborate discussion on this. So you're going to tell me what services everyone is doing?
What is here? Chandan Acharya Prabhu, you're well aware, is the monk coach, and trying to always come up with schemes as to how to get people to join. In many ways, he faces an uphill task, but he doesn't give up. That's his main service. Suresh Prabhu was Avadhuta Chandra Prabhu's right-hand man, helping in the garden. Also very helpful for anything else that needs to get done. If you want something to get done, you can approach Suresh Prabhu.
He arranges all the booths.
Yeah. That's a very important
Maharaj,
one.
like that, this is one of his most important services, Maharaj, is that he arranges all the booths for us to distribute books. He's relentless. He's relentless in his service. Like, he arranges so many things, and then even not just like paying for the booths, but informing us when the load-in time is, when we should go. All he talks to them. I've gone to so many events, and they tell us, so hey, who's Austin? Who's Austin? Are you Austin? Are you Austin? Because that's Suresh Prabhu's first, Karmi first name. Anyway, so yeah, who's Austin? They always ask. Because he developed such a good rapport with them that they already have a good on the phone. So they already have a good impression of us even before we come. That plays in a big role for us, actually. So.
Yeah, actually, he also has a we call very likable nature. So I've seen him interact with Indians. I've seen him interact with blacks, whites, anywhere, India, non-India, old people, young people.
Yeah, grandmas.
He can strike a conversation up with literally anyone, literally anyone, and he also gives them books. Yeah. I've seen prasadam books. Navani Hoda Prabhu is not here, but he's now working. But he's a fantastic book distributor, and also
a good friend to all.
Good friend to all. He's given a lot of donations. But Navani Hoda Prabhu's one thing that he's always enthusiastic to do is distribute prasadam. I've never seen someone any time of the day, any time you want prasadam distribution, and go to him. And Giri Prabhu, book distributor, and Mahotsav Prabhu can introduce the book distributors better. But one thing I'd like to say about Giri Prabhu.
What is Mahotsav Prabhu doing?
Nothing.
Just sitting around cracking jokes.
Basically, basically all day.
When Mahotsav Prabhu is not present in the prasadam hall, you can feel the void.
The mode of goodness,
It feels like suddenly, we've been pushed into some void. And immediately, it's such a big difference in him being in the prasadam hall and not being in the prasadam hall.
Strong presence.
Yeah.
Could be good or bad, and bad in most cases.
Strong aura.
Yeah. And Giri Prabhu, I've never seen him get mental. This is like, I'm just like very amazed, because I get mental so much and he doesn't get mental, and it's really amazing how he's just always ready. Any service you get, always ready.
Yeah, he's ready.
Always ready, And book distributors?
Yeah, Maharaj, he's always on point. Anything we need, and especially Krishna has given him a body which fits in the back of the Ram truck. So he can, in the bed of the Ram truck, so he can easily load the Bhagavatam sets inside. So him and Bhakti Mason are the dynamic.
How is that?
So because the bed, Maharaj, there's a bed. You have to be short to be able to fit inside that cab, and short and strong, So him and Bhakti Mason are the dynamic duo when it comes to loading books. So.
He's not that short.
Go ahead.
I didn't notice. Anyway.
Stand up. Matsya, stand next to him. Go stand next to him, Matsya. Don't be mental. Okay.
Now you make him mental. Yeah. Maybe because I live in India, where most people are. Most men are maybe a little shorter than that.
Yeah. Rishi Kumar Prabhu Guru Maharaj, he's like the Rasgulla of Krishna Life now. He's a very, very sweet devotee. I've never seen him get upset or. Go ahead.
And because in RVC somehow or the other they don't find a need to have matching colors, so it makes him even more cute. Because all of his sets, this is not his. Because we've been making him wear. We gave him 3 sets, but his original sets were all like, the kurtas and dhotis were all different colors. So.
He also said that when he was in RVC and the kirtans wouldn't be so enlivening, he would think of you dancing in kirtan and he would feel enlivened. And when he came, he said, "You were there in front and you're dancing," and he was exactly the same. And he said, "For a whole year, this is what I've been envisioning in my life."
He really loves you a lot, Guru Maharaj. You want to say Ali? Okay, and Guru Maharaj, Ali Krishna Prabhu. Okay, can I say a little bit? Okay, he's one of the best partners to have on traveling Sankirtan March. When he comes out, he's the person. He'll support you in whatever way, adjust to whatever way. He has like no hang up. I mean, sometimes, but most of the time he's good and he's pretty straightforward.
He's been helping in the Bhakti program a lot. Very capable devotee. Videos, and pretty much anything. He knows how to play mridanga now.
Yeah.
He can lead kirtans, can cook. Cooking, pretty much everything. All around devotee.
That's good.
And organized.
Ship's books.
Ship's books.
He's a book order. Anytime we get a book order, we just have to post it on a group, and Ali Krishna Prabhu ships all the books out.
Okay, then Janardhan Krishna Prabhu is our temple commander who regularly overworks himself for no good reason, except the good reason that he feels very compassionate about the other devotees, so tends to take a little more than he should be taking on. But extremely reliable. He organized. The Sankirtan festival and the Shravan Kirtan camp went on smoothly, primarily because of him. And he has taken a lot of stress off of my shoulder, something I much needed, and extremely sincere. And yeah, great cook. Oh my God, how can we mention? Great cook.
He has a lot of love for them. He has a lot of love for the Sankirtan devotees March. So when we work really hard and we come back, we know Janardhan Krishna Prabhu is going to...
He can tend to indulge the devotees a lot. So have to generally hold him back, otherwise he'll give them treats that it's a little, can go a little overboard, but everyone loves it. Abhimanyu Sutta, our number 2 book distributor.
March, he's really like, if you're the Abhimanyu Sutta Prabhu, like every time we go out on books, like some magic happens, March, every single time Abhi and I go out on books, it's really exciting. And he's someone you can count on. I know wherever I put him, he's going to really do huge. That's just a fact. He's imbibed that spirit, and like pretty soon he'll be able to train others. We're hoping. Yeah.
He's matured a lot.
Yeah.
I'm very happy to say that. Matured a lot over the years, and it's very nice to see him develop that stability. Okay, then Nimai, Bhakta Nimai. Actually, he's silent, but he's very, when he talks, he can talk a lot, and he's very, very intelligent, very smart, very smart. He knows verse numbers and facts, like when was Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Thakur, when was the year of his appearance and things like that, even which regular devotees were expecting.
What was the year of his appearance?
1874.
So it's again, he also, I've seen him do all kinds of services, and we hope to see him go out on books more. He's learning Mridanga now. Learning verses, learning Mridanga. Yeah. Okay. Matsya Prabhu?
Again, him and Abhi are neck to neck almost always on books. And he has an edge over Abhi with the Bhagavatam says to the Indians. More than he can do any style of book distribution, Maharaj. He can go to the airport, he can go on to go to the Indians. He distribute books to any kind of people, and like he doesn't have hang-ups, when it comes on distributing books. And he's expert at languages. He can, he mimics and like, very intelligent, knows so many shlokas and great cook. Also.
Yeah, he's a great cook.
He's a great all-rounder. Yeah.
And he also has been taking up more responsibilities, which is much needed, and he has the ability to execute those things. So then Atharv Chandan is a better introduction here.
I mean, he's the son of Aviram Chakaprabhu. Saka, my S's. So
Of who?
Abiram, the cook from last year.
Yeah.
He's a cook in Charlotte, him and his wife.
Oh, I see.
So they send him down here. He comes. When he's here, he's really good.
When he's there, he's not.
Huh? His mom and dad have told me that he can join, no problem. Let him drop out of school. Just waiting on him. And so he's another another boy who grew up in the Krishna consciousness movement. Knows how to play really good mridanga. Indian American, is
Great dancer.
actually if he dedicated himself, he'll be pretty fired up. He'll be a really good asset to the movement. Okay.
Who else is there? No, let me throw something in the back, bro. Okay, yeah, so Mason. Hiding behind Atharv. So, you introduce
Yeah. So Bhakti Mason, did a good job finishing school and remaining Krishna conscious. That's really hard. So especially during the exam times, chanting 16 rounds, not missing a day. Mangalarti, cleans.
He would do his cleans even during exams.
Yeah, everything.
Do what?
His cleans. He would do cleans services. So dedicated. Came in, had a little bit of struggle, but kind of worked through it, and is now doing much better. Out on book distribution, mainly with Mahotsav Prabhu, and he's helping a lot. Load the vans, learning a lot. Now he's becoming a decent book distributor. Yeah, distributes books. Yeah.
He distributed a Bhagavatam on the first day of his book distribution, very much. So did Giri Prabhu also, and Bhakti Mason also. He went out sooner than most devotees, and great. Tell him what books you need, send him a list, and he'll make sure they're in there. Very great
Reliable,
asset.
huh?
Very reliable, and he's got the body for lifting books and going to the farms.
we got Tapas. Tapas Prabhu. Tapas Prabhu has made, it's so nice to see the transformation in him since he went to Salem and came back. He's getting back on his book distribution. Getting.
Yeah. When he came back from India, Guru Maharaj, he was used to his book scores in India, so we're trying to bring him back to the Atlanta book distribution state of mind. And he's getting back, and Maharaj, he was number 4 book distributor last year in Krishna Life. That's a big deal. You're up against, that's amazing. Number 4, and just consistent. Every day, you can count on him, he's going to do this many. He's just going to go and do it. And to be with him on books or on traveling Sangeet, he's one of the funniest people.
At the very least, if you're with him, whether the books are going or not, you can have a good time.
That could be good or bad. but he's great, Maharaj. He's great. Once or twice, was it this 2? He helped us break the world record, Maharaj. Yeah, he helped break the world record. Once him and I were the only devotees from Atlanta distributing books, and we were still number 1, in America. Just him and me.
When everyone was in India?
When everyone was in Europe.
Oh, in Europe.
Long time ago. It was just him and I, and he was great.
Okay, Kalki Prabhu. Kalki Prabhu is our head cook, and very enthusiastic to feed all the devotees. Cooks every single day, reliable, consistent. sober person that everybody looks up to, sadhu, that everyone looks up to, just for his devotional characteristics. And yeah.
He's like the mother of our ashram, Guru Maharaj. He really like looks out for us. His sambar is out of this world, fantastic, amazing. Yeah.
Kalki Prabhu might have been some South Indian cook in his past life. Any South Indian item, he really good. He's really good at, especially South Indian item.
No one makes it better than one last. And Maharaj, he's been consistent in like looking at, even when I was brand new, I was a bhakta. He was my first Sankirtan leader, and even from then he was taking care of me, and he shaved my head on the day of initiation, and even till today he's really like my mother. Anytime I'm going out on like traveling Sankirtan, like he always makes like a little like something special, and like a big thing of chidwa, like. Who here swears by his chidwa,
Oh my
Everyone. His chidwa is, oh my gosh. That's your opinion.
Jitagirish Prabhu. Jitagirish Prabhu is a very good book distributor.
Yeah.
He can, again, he can do Bhagavatam sets.
No, not yet. He's going to.
He's done it. He's done it. He's doing. So, and again, all-rounder. He can lead kirtans, cook, play mridanga. He can work in the garden, which he likes doing. And then Jitagirish Prabhu
he's a good, safe driver. Jitagirish Prabhu is a safe driver.
He's a safe driver, I'm being told. And I haven't had much experience, but yeah.
And Maharaj, and he'll do anything too. Like you just tell him, Prabhu, you need to be, you need to cook, do this, and he's always on point. And very dedicated to you, Guru Maharaj. And he learned the whole chapter 24 of the Rudra Gita of the Srimad Bhagavatam. He memorized that.
Mitravan Prabhu, I mean, I have to tell what services you know more what he's doing than we do. but Mitravan's presence in the temple is grounding in the sense of he's well versed in Srila Prabhupada's books. He is someone you can always ask. Many devotees go and ask him questions on different things, and wise wisdom. He has wisdom to share with others, and whenever he gets into the kitchen, it's great. It's great.
His cream cheese pakora.
It's great cook, really good cook. Can give very good classes, very well analyzed, and Mitravan Prabhu has been very instrumental in helping in the whole renovation process because he's very alert to these things and very observant. Him and I had to went and observed many kitchens in different temples, and so the whole kitchen has been planned out by him. And
present one.
The new one, and even the makeshift one he organized it. So
whatever there is.
Yeah, whatever there is, it's organized by him. So he's very organized, and especially in the kitchen. And then, Avaduta Chandra Prabhu is our farm manager and loves bringing produce for Krishna. A very unique person. Again, he's another sadhu. A very, very saintly character, very good with his sadhana, and really lovable by everyone. He's very sweet, and and we're really looking forward to seeing him use his skills more in Krishna service. Yeah.
Maharaj, I was speaking with one of your disciples, and this book by Hare Krishna Devi Dasi, Srila Prabhupada speaking on Varnashram. one of your disciples was mentioning there's more versions of that book to be published, but you held the rights. Is that true?
No, it's
Okay.
all BBT has the rights to everything.
There's only one volume. I wish there was more.
She was going to do more, but then she didn't.
Okay. Thank you.
And there's Ramdas Abhiram Prabhu, he's, you know a lot of, he received
He
Bhagavad.
brought you here.
Yeah, he brought us here, that's a fact. And we wouldn't be here without Ramdas Abhiram Prabhu.
It's all his fault.
Yeah, for sure.
So if anyone complains, just tell them to go to him.
Yeah. Yeah. And this Vishnu Chaitanya Prabhu, he's
doing a lot of Chaitanya Charitamrita, a lot of Bhagavatam sets and Chaitanya Charitamrita sets.
yeah, for sure. And like this Vishnu Chaitanya Prabhu, he's the temple president. And we wouldn't be here without him, Maharaj. There've been so many, there have been a couple of your disciples in America in the past and spread everywhere, but it's because of him that we're all here, and he's kept us without straying away in Krishna consciousness. And we're very fortunate to have him here, personally trained by you as his secretary.
Wonderful. Mataji's. Huh? Where's he? Hiding. Oh, he ran away. Naikatma Prabhu, he helps driving, he does the morning offering, he does Tulasi Arati, he helps, sometimes whenever he feels like it, he goes into the kitchen and tries to cook something. So one of his greatest regrets is the lack of chilies in our.
You can make some chili achar.
So he makes some spicy, tomato chutney or something like this. Tries to make something.
You can make chili. Or anyway, there's a way out of this, isn't there? You have chilies with your meal. Srila Prabhupada did.
Yeah.
We used to keep chilies with. It's common in Bengal, green
Yeah.
chilies.
Yeah. And he also counts Lakshmi. One nice thing about Naikatma Prabhu is that always if there's someone who needs to go with someone somewhere, he's always the person who's available for that. And yeah. He serves prasadam. That's another thing he does. Okay. Mataji's.
Did you speak about Ramdas?
Sorry?
Ramdas?
Oh, I did. Ramdas Abhiram?
Yeah.
Yeah, he distributes books. Ramdas Abhiram Prabhu. And
doing a lot of Chaitanya Charitamrita.
A lot of Chaitanya Charitamrita sets, yeah. Ramdas Abhiram Prabhu, book distribution ki jai. Yeah, he brings a lot of people to the temple, that's true. He brings a lot of people to the temple. He makes sure they get prasadam, makes sure they get books, beads. He's very big on making people chant Hare Krishna. And
whenever my father comes, he's always asking, "Where's Ram?" Because Ram has this special quality of just being a friend of everybody. So.
Okay. Devyani Mataji, one of her main services is to care for Tulasi, which she does a very good job at. And apart from that, this is with all the Matajis, they're very surrendered. They also step up and do the needful when we require it. And so Devyani Mataji's dedicated and steady devotional service is something that's very notable. Through all kinds of difficulties, she's maintained her Krishna consciousness and steadiness. And so that's something that in that sense she's outstanding in that regard. Because especially at Krishna Life, The Mataji ashram has been through some roller coaster rides, and she somehow hung on to the roller coaster. Iman Mataji's main service is decorating the altar, taking care of the flowers, which she works a lot for this. She really likes doing her service. She works very hard. She's a full-time student, and so she's a student at Georgia State, and somehow she's balancing her student life and devotional life, which
Studying
again,
what?
sorry,
What subject?
psychology. So, Iman's parents are favorable. They're very respectful. I've had a couple of conversations with them, and so in spite of the challenge of time management, because the Matajis have to work it out amongst themselves, and it's generally not very easy to work it out amongst themselves, because when there's no kind of specific leader. So in that sense, I'm grateful to all of them, and I would especially mention Iman Mataji in this regard, because she has student life and devotional life both to manage. It's very difficult, and I've never seen her slacken in her service, in spite of her challenges. Yeah. Okay. Dirga Mataji if whenever we need to introduce someone to Krishna consciousness, have them talk to the Matajis. She's there. She likes to speak with people. She's very gentle in her. Yeah. She's the Bhaktin leader, and it's difficult. She has to train others, and it's not easy. And there are many. Sometimes it feels very discouraging, because the Mataji seem to become friends and they come to hang out, but then to bring them up to the higher level is a challenge. And but she's still going at it. She's still interested, and so it's very nice to see. It's ecstatic to see her get initiated. Something that I personally was pleasantly surprised to hear, that she had actually read so much that she could actually finish her reading, and she did something even she didn't know she could do, was read 6 hours a day, and so she got initiated. She's also a good book distributor.
She's a good book distributor too, and Iman Mataji is also a very, very good book distributor. And Devyani Mataji too, all of them actually. Devyani Mataji also, she's also really good, and Dirga Mataji always is there to take care of the even the devotees who come in, when the Brahmacharis from Hungary came, she was taking care of them.
So, Iman Mataji actually, she's such a good book distributor. She beat some of the men in book distribution last year. So when she puts her mind to it, she's amazing on books. But Lekha Shravanti Mataji can give her a hard time also, which is again one of Lekha Shravanti Mataji's notable services. She's great on book distribution. She's a great book distributor.
She's on the Bhagavatam game already. She's distributing Bhagavatam sets.
Oh.
Yeah. She just when we went with the Hungarian Mataji, she came to a convention. Iman Mataji, but Lekha Shravanti Mataji is really on the Bhagavatam game. She's really, she's good. She whatever is taught to her, she's good at taking it in, and she applies it, and she goes for it. She's fearless. She goes for it, and she knows how to. She's worldly smart also. So she's.
And Lekha Shravanti Mataji is back now at Krishna Life Atlanta. Yeah, back better than ever. And so again, we're happy to have her here. Also, all the Matajis, they cook. And so that's another service that, we're grateful, because when sometimes there's a need, they're there to cook. So thank you, Guru Maharaj. Again, all of these services are all happening ultimately by your mercy, by your guidance. without your lectures, without your books, without your personal guidance and example, none of this would actually be possible. So all glories to you.
Jai.
All glories to Srila Prabhupada.
Jai Srila Prabhupada.
So what's your program today?
Today they're going to be wrapping books up. Today and tomorrow they need to wrap books up. We're completely out. So the book order from the BBT came in just before the Shravan Kirtan camp began. And so we need to tie books up.
Oh, that's a big job.
And Mataji's tie up Bhakti. That's one of the most valuable services. Everything they tie up the Bhakti stacks and the other books, Maharaj. And which saves us time to distribute more books.
Yeah.
So that's a big deal.
Vancha kalpatarubhascha kripasindarabhascha. Vaishnavebhyo namo namah. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Hare Krishna. Garland. You made the garland?
Who made the garland?
Yeah, please take it. Trader Joe is getting a lot of good fortune for Trader Joe, whoever he may be. Hare Krishna. And the local manager must be, because he doesn't have to give them to us, right?
Yeah. How's the manager at Trader Joe's favorable to us?
Oh, yes.
Give him.
His name is Gary.
Giri?